Blue lock first selection in under 10 minutes. Go. The Japan Football Association only cares about making the next best football moneymaker. But this character, Henri, disagrees and says she wants Japan to win the World Cup by introducing Blue Lock, which will be a facility that will make Japan's next best striker. We cut to our main character Isugi, playing in the qualifier game in which if he wins, his school's team goes to nationals. And he's clearly making easy work against the opposing team, but oh look, someone who thinks they know better. Why doesn't he know better? Well, he gets the ball from Isugi and misses. The opposing team's ace striker, Kira, gets the ball and scores a second goal for his team and wins the match. Isugi is left distraught on his way home for losing that match. He arrives home and his parents tell him he has received a letter. The letter reads that he's chosen to become a WWE Super Certified athlete. Cut to another day. Isugi is standing in front of this building he was told to go from the letter he received. Kira is also there. They exchange gay pleasantries and head inside. Inside there are a bunch of weirdos and this guy who's my favorite. Then this much taller weirdo called Ego comes out onto stage in front of the room. He calls everyone stupid for playing football wrong and the key is to be selfish and abandon all common sense. Everyone disagrees until Isugi shows he agrees and then suddenly everyone agrees. Cut to the Blue Lock facility and Isugi heads inside his room, is greeted by Kira, a buff ginger guy, and a sleeping cat, and oh look, it's Ego. Oh look, it's time to play football tag. Kira was eliminated by Isugi. Ego tells Kira to lock off as losing means being disqualified from the entire facility. Kira gets a budget increase for a second to then never be seen again. Cue training montage. First match, Isugi's team called Team Z go up against Team X. The match starts and it immediately erupts to chaos. Everyone is trying to advance as the top scorer, so they all pile onto where the ball is until this guy, Baru, takes the ball and scores. Baru's goal unites his team to work together as they now believe they can win as a team instead of as individuals. Team Z still hate each other though. 5 goals down and Isugi and Bachada, you know, the cat boy from earlier, decide fuck losing 5-0. Bachada passes to Isugi close to the goal. Isugi faces Baru. Isugi big brain and passes, only instead this time to Kunigami, the ginger guy, scores. Isugi sensed a goal and passed reflexively to the person who could get that goal. The game ends 5-1, so Team Z lost their first match. Cut to the planning room. Apparently you need a weapon to produce goals. What's a weapon? A football ability? Who has what weapon? Check out my Blue Lock character weapon shorts for more details on players' weapons. Cut to the next match. Team Z versus Team Y. Team Y scores. They then stall for the rest of the first half. Second half starts. Gargamaru, this guy, scores a goal and then eats a goalpost to the stomach. It's all tied up. Time for Isugi to start contributing. Isugi notices this guy called Nico is actually calling all the shots on the opposing team. So Isugi decides to hard target him and steals the ball. Isugi to Kunigami, to Bachada, to Isugi to... Isugi scored his first goal in Blue Lock. Isugi discovered what being a sadist feels like. Ego is watching the events unfold, exposing that he may be a cuck. Cut to the sleep room. Isugi is too energized after discovering his new kink, so he can't sleep, so instead he goes into the monitoring room. He finds his teammate Chigiri watching his goal. They talk, and Chigiri gets mad about talking about football because his leg hates him. It's later now. Team Z are running through strategies before going into the match against Team W. This guy shows up late for a totally non-related reason, maybe. Later on, kickoff for Team Z versus Team W starts. This guy who never used to be able to get a goal has now gone 3 in a row. Team Z is now up. The guy that scored 3 goals now is throwing the game because oh no, turns out he was late for a related reason. He betrayed his own team to advance as the top scorer for his team, revealing a deal was made to give away all the intel he had on his teammates in exchange for 3 goals, which would currently be enough for him to advance as the top scorer. It was all planned. Team W now counters, scoring 4 goals back. They didn't plan for this convenient plot buff though. Chigiri's backstory is revealed. The reason why his leg hates him is because he ran too fast and tore his ACL. Apparently he knows these 2 dorks as well, as they played on the same team, and they were first jealous of his abilities and then bullied him for no longer wanting to risk running so fast due to his injury. Isugi's determination to win at all costs inspires Chigiri to awaken his ego, to play every game like it was his last. Isugi passes to Chigiri and solos the entire opposing team, leading to his first goal in Blue Lock. The match ends in a draw, saving Team Z from elimination elimination if they win their next game. The traitor gets beat up and then runs off. The traitor tries to align himself with Team V, but then gets called bad at the game by Reo, Zantetsu, and the top scorer of the facility, Nagi, who are all representing Team V. Some backstory is shown of how Reo got into football and how he wanted to succeed in an objective of his own instead of being handed everything by his parents, to then meet Nagi, who Reo considers his treasure, and the true reason in why he got into football. Isugi goes to find Baru to receive some advice. Baru hates friendship and tries to have a dick measuring contest with Isugi by scoring against him 3 times in a one-on-one matchup. Isugi thanks Baru for something, no clue what. We then cut ahead to the final match, Team Z versus Team V. Begin! Wow, Team V are already up 3 goals. All seems lost. Bartrada decides fuck losing 3-0 and solos Team V to score. Team Z are now inspired and Kunigami scores a goal, making it 3-2. Half-time break. Second half, Reo elbows Raichi in the throat for taunting and man-marking him. Chigiri gets a goal because speed is key! The traitor is confused in how Team Z are doing so well against the undefeated Team V and yells at them for being bad at the game. Reo begins to get upsetty over the possibility of him and Nagi losing for the first time. Nagi decides to start trying and scores an awakened goal. Kunigami then scores, making it 4-4. Isugi is beginning to understand his weapon of viewing the field more and more as the match goes on. Nagi almost solos and scores, but the traitor intentionally tackles him and receives a red card which prevents him from advancing as the top goal scorer, instead making Kunigami the person to advance as the top goal scorer if Team Z loses. Upon getting a red card, Reo receives a free kick. Almost everyone expects Reo to pass to Nagi, but instead he shoots. The goalkeeper didn't expect Reo to pass and saves the ball. The rebound lands to Nagi and he shoots over the defenders, but Gargamaru manages to get to the ball before it goes in and deflects it off the crossbar.
This ain't over!
The loose ball lands at Isugi's feet. This is their last chance. Time for a counter-attack. Isugi passes over to Bartrada, who gets past a few players on Team V, but then passes back to Isugi when he is being held back. Team V were desperate to even get a foul on Team Z so they didn't lose. Isugi receives the ball from Bartrada and then passes to Chigiri. Isugi uses Chigiri as bait and receives the ball from Chigiri and continues heading forward. Isugi passes to Kunigami, but then is blocked by Zantetsu, flinging the ball into the air. The ball is about to go out, but then Raichi kicks it back into the field before that happens. Bartrada gets the ball and passes it to Isugi from across the field. Isugi could win the game.
Again, we seem to keep meeting, don't we?
Nagi appears and Isugi's path to the goal disappears. The ball, just before landing at his feet,
my goal. That's right, Isugi. Remember your goal. There it is. I can see it again.
Isugi recalls all his previous strikes, realizing his weapon for goals was his direct shot.
Found it. My formula for scoring.
Isugi scores the game-winning point and the match ends 4-5 to Team Z, advancing the whole team to the next selection. Fast forward a bit, every player gathers into one room, but there's more than normal. Turns out there were multiple facilities who had players under the same structure as Isugi's facility. Ego appears on a big screen announcing the start of the second selection and disappears. This new character puts their dick on the table and hits 2 balls into the sky, making them collide midair and enters into the doorway that leads into the second selection. Isugi then follows after and goes through the doorway, and that's the end of the first selection of Blue Lock. There's quite a few details I did not cover within the video, as I want any new viewers who haven't seen the series yet to go watch the anime or read the manga, whatever your preference may be. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.